Hello class, this is Dr. Forbes, and we are ready to move to module number 3, where we will discover the art of prompt writing. We'll learn to write effective prompts to get the output that you want. You'll learn how to incorporate prompting techniques, such as few-shot prompting, into your work. You'll understand how generative AI tools produce output and the importance of evaluating the output before using it. By the end of this module, you'll be able to write clear and specific prompts and produce outputs that help accomplish workplace tasks. The learning objectives for this unit are to explain potential issues in LLM output. And LLM stands for Large Language Model. We'll describe the role of writing effective prompts in producing LLM output. We'll create prompts that provide clear and specific instructions for a variety of use cases relevant to knowledge workers. We'll analyze the output of an LLM model and refine the prompts as needed. Apply specific prompting techniques, including few-shot prompting. For this module, you're going to complete the following assignments. Read and view the following: large language models and their output, key principles of effective prompt writing, techniques for prompting an LLM, discover the art of prompt engineering, planning a work event assignment, and these are writing assignment steps 1 through 4. We'll have a discussion about what we did in this module. And then, of course, there's the Module 3 challenge that you'll take at the end of module that will lead you to your certificate for Google AI. Let's look at the instructions. This activity is designed to help you practice using AI tools. To complete this activity, you'll fill out a template, then you'll download the separate assignments and submit to the links in eCampus. In this activity, you'll leverage AI to help inform the decisions involved in planning a work event. This workplace task includes administrative, analytical, and creative components. After completing this activity, you'll be able to use a conversational AI tool to organize notes into a list of advantages and disadvantages, identify solutions based on specific criteria, and generate promotional content and create a spreadsheet. The ability to leverage AI's capacity to help you make informed decisions is valuable in the workplace. You can leverage AI to efficiently organize and process information, or use it to generate creative options. The skills that you'll practice in this activity can be extended to using AI to inform other decisions as well. For instance, you might use a conversational AI tool to create an action plan based on customer reviews, or make purchasing decisions that factor in project budgets. For this module, here's what you will do. We will create a list of advantages and disadvantages, generate a list of potential host cities, generate ideas for a tagline, and then create a spreadsheet to track the speakers. Materials needed: prompt log for event planning task template. To use the template for this activity, click on the following link and select Use Template. AI tool access. To complete this activity, you can use the browser-based generative AI tool of your choice. Generative AI technology is dynamic and ever-changing, so always double-check what features and capabilities are available in the tools you're using. The following are instructions for accessing Gemini, which requires a Google account. And this is the generative AI tool that we'll be using for our task. So you can go to gemini.google.com and sign in with your Google account. Here's the scenario. You're part of a team planning an event for your organization. This event is your organization's annual meeting for its employees to celebrate recent achievements, outline goals for the future, and build community. Historically, The event has been held in New York City, but members of the leadership team want to consider holding the event at a new location this year. They ask your team to help manage the decisions involved in planning the event. In order to make these decisions more efficiently, you'll leverage AI in 4 ways. First, you'll organize information about moving the annual meeting to a new location into advantages and disadvantages. Next, you'll generate a list of potential locations for the meeting based on specific criteria. Then, you'll create a tagline to help promote the annual meeting and share the news with all employees. Finally, you'll create a spreadsheet to track the speakers for the meeting. To complete each step, you'll prompt a conversational AI tool, evaluate its output, and iterate on your prompt until you get the desired results. So the first thing we need to do is to open the prompt log. And then we're going to use template. And that will put the template into your own Google account. Next, it says go to gemini.google.com. And I have that open right here. And it should say your name because this is your account. All right, so step 1 says we're going to create a list of advantages and disadvantages. Step 1 says to create a list of advantages and disadvantages. Reviews task details. Your team met to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of moving the annual meeting to a new location away from New York City. You've taken the following meeting notes to summarize the main ideas of the discussion. The new location should be exciting. We should have enough budget this year to host in a new location. Some employees can't travel. Others consider traveling to another destination a perk. Fresh place, fresh ideas. And then planning for a new location requires more time. B says to prompt Gemini. So we'll prompt Gemini to transform your meeting notes into an organized list of advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are factors in favor of moving the meeting to a new location. Disadvantages are factors against moving the meeting to a new location. And organizing the information in this format will make it easier for stakeholders to make their decision about whether to move the annual meeting to a new location. C, we're going to evaluate the output. After prompting Gemini, evaluate the output to make sure it's factually accurate, relevant, unbiased, and sufficient for your task. If your initial prompt doesn't give you useful output, iterate on the prompt until you get the desired results. Changing the phrasing of your prompt can lead to different responses, and experimenting with different phrasings can help you obtain the most useful output. In the prompt log for Event Planning Task Template, record your final version of the prompt. Include a 3 to 5 sentence description of how you crafted this prompt and evaluated the output. Include details on prompting best practices or techniques you incorporated into your prompt. The assignment for grading is to put into a Word document the prompt log and the 3 to 5 sentence description of how you crafted this prompt and evaluated the output. Include the details on best practices or techniques you incorporated into the prompt. Include a reflection paragraph of what worked, what didn't work, and how you can use prompt writing in the workplace. Submit the assignment to the link in eCampus. All right, so let's do this together. So the first thing I want to do is I want to copy my meeting notes. Then I'm going to Gemini, and I asked Gemini I'm going to submit and see what I get. So I get a list of pros and cons, and then key considerations. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to review it. Okay, so, all right, so I like this idea right here. So I'm going to mark it. It's a good response. And then what do my instructions tell me? So I prompted Gemini, got my advantages and disadvantages. I evaluated the output. In the prompt log, I want to record my final version of the prompt. So this is the pros and cons. So I guess I highlight it, copy it, and put it into my prompt. All right, so here is my create a list of advantages and disadvantages. I have that right there. Prompt description and output evaluation. So what was my prompt description? Was this right here. So I'll copy that and I'll put that in my prompt description right here. Right? So remember, it automatically saves to our drive, so we don't have to worry about that right now. Create a list of advantages and disadvantages. We did that. Here's our prompt description and output evaluation. So here is where you would provide 3 to 5 sentences about, then it says right here, of how you crafted this prompt and evaluated the output. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for you to do. Now, my next prompt is asking me to generate a list of potential host cities. So let me go down here. Okay, so it doesn't tell me anything, so I'm going to ask Gemini. This is going to be my prompt. Okay, so I put that in and I just hit enter. And then here are some potential cities for your company retreat. Las Vegas, Nevada, Honolulu, Hawaii, Austin, Texas, San Diego, California, Scottsdale, Arizona. These are just a few suggestions. Okay, so it tells me, Gemini is telling me to consider factors such as budget, travel time, activities, and desired atmosphere. All right, so in my prompt log, then I want to put in my potential cities. Okay, so now I've generated a list of potential cities and I've kind of given a little bit of dialogue about the cities themselves. So then what was my prompt description and my output evaluation? Okay, here you're also going to provide me with 3 to 5 sentences about how you crafted this prompt and how you evaluated it. Now I need to generate some ideas for a tagline. So that worked for me before. I just copied from the prompt and I went to Gemini and I said, generate ideas for a tagline. So I have some pretty cool ideas. I have short and catchy, benefit oriented, creative and playful, and then some tips for choosing those taglines. So I'm going to just copy the whole thing. Okay. Because my job was just to generate ideas, not to choose the idea itself. So there's that. This was my prompt. Okay, and then again, I want you to provide me with 3 to 5 sentences. Okay. Now I need to create a spreadsheet to track the speakers. So I'm going to go back. I choose the title here. I'm going to Gemini and I'm going to ask Gemini to do that for me. So let's see if this helps. Now I like this feature. What happened to this was it actually put in the information that I might need. My assignment on the prompt was to create a spreadsheet to track speakers. Okay, so Gemini has done that for me, and it's asked me, do I want to export it to Sheets? So I'm going to say yes. So it's creating my spreadsheet. So I can open in Sheets. It's over here at the bottom left-hand side. And there's my sheets. Okay. So then some information about using the spreadsheet is right here. So I don't know if I'm going to need all of that. That pretty much tells me how to create a spreadsheet. So then what I do in my prompt log, I ask Gemini to create a spreadsheet for the speakers, to track the speakers. So that was my prompt log. Okay. And then here I'm going to provide my 3 to 5 sentences and evaluate the output. So that was pretty easy to come up and come up with ideas. When you submit this, be sure you submit the spreadsheet as well. So you'll just save the spreadsheet, and I would download it as a PDF, export it. This is your spreadsheet to track your speakers. Okay. Be sure you put your first and last name on here. Then your prompt log, once you've filled that out and you've filled out everything on the log and you've provided 3 to 5 sentences on each of these different areas, now you're ready to save that as well and download it. You can download that into a PDF if you'd like. Be sure you put your name on it, right? And then you will put those 2 documents, you will put those in the link for eCampus. And here's my spreadsheet. And here's my prompt log. So that was pretty easy. Things like this would take people hours and hours to generate ideas and to generate enough ideas for a team to look at it and make intelligent decisions. And this, using Gemini to help us with our prompts is definitely a time saver. And of course, we could change our prompt, we could add much more to our prompt, we could revise our prompt and get very different ideas each time we revise these prompts. So I hope you enjoy prompt writing, and we will be doing more of that in the next sessions. Thank you.